and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith Peters. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says he is communicating with the world leaders on issues related to the crisis in Niger Republic and the unfolding situation in Gabon, while watching closely with deep concern for the country's socio-political stability and at the seeming autocratic contention apparently spreading across different regions of the African continent. Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Andrew Ngali, reiterated the president's commitment in defending democracy, saying power belongs in the hands of African great people and not in the barrel of a loaded gun. Agbomofoibe completes the report.
This is coming as after Gabonese army officers under the aegis of the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions announced on national television that they had overthrown the government of Gabonese President Ali Bongo, who has been in power for 14 years, as after he had been declared the victor in Saturday's elections. They said the vote results had been cancelled and all the institutions of the republic dissolved.
The president affirms that the rule of law and a faithful recourse to constitutional resolutions and instruments of electoral dispute resolution must not at any time be allowed to perish from our great continent. To this end, the President is working very closely and continuing to communicate with other heads of state in the African Union toward a comprehensive consensus.
The special advisor to the president on media and publicity added that President Tinubu had a conversation with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, where the two heads of state mutually agreed that the promotion and protection of constitutional democratic governance on the continent remains a paramount priority.
People of Africa living in the diaspora around the world, making a huge impact to the socio-political landscapes of countries around the world and the economies of countries around the world, continue to urge on the global community to advance the cause of democracy on the continent for the sake of the economic prosperity of all Africans.
The military coup leaders said Bongo's son and close advisor, Noridi Bongo Valentin, his chief of staff, Ian Ghislaine Ngolu, as well as his deputy, two other presidential advisors, and two top officials in the ruling Gabonese Democratic Party have been arrested. According to the officers, they are accused of treason, embezzlement, corruption, and falsifying the president's signature, among other allegations. Agbomofoibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Still on the news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new board and management team for the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. While Chidu Ebe from Delta State is chairman of the board, Samuel Obuku from Bayelsa State is to serve as managing director and chief executive officer. It is the president's expectation that the new board and management team will ensure a new era of successful administration in the NDDC. In line with Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, all the appointments take immediate effect. Also, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very passionate about reducing the cost of fertilizer for Nigerian farmers to ensure the attainment of food security. Shettima stated this at a stakeholders meeting with Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria, FEPSAN, and the federal government held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja on Tuesday. Stakeholders at the meeting also includes the Minister of Agriculture, Abubakar Kyari, and the Minister of State for Agriculture, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi. The meeting focused on the 33,000 metric tons of potash donated to the federal government by Russia's Orachom Group and UN partners, and centered on the donation for a consignment of 33,000 metric tons of potash. And now, Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has applauded Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for her intervention in empowering women and other valuable groups and the society through a Renewed Hope initiative. Kikelomo Okere reports that the governor stated this after paying a courtesy visit to the First Lady at the State House in Abuja.
The intervention of the initiative in the education sector were a national scholarship program which was recently flagged off in Abuja with 43 beneficiaries across the nation, women ICT training and other empowerment programs in the agriculture and social investment. The governor notes that this will complement similar policies objective of Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, as well as serve to reassure Nigerians.
On the Renewed Hope initiative, which we've all heard about, which is championing with a lot of the other first ladies and of course the wife of the vice president, really just to encourage and to share the vision that she has for the Renewed Hope initiative, and just to talk me through, I mean, what kind of interventions they're looking at and how she's running a complementary role to what Mr. President is also doing, and I think it's great. You know, our own idea is not necessarily to begin to build brick and mortar, is really to be able to intervene, you know, in schools, you know, for people needing scholarship, in farming, you know, people needing implements, you know, seedlings, and also to be able to provide immediate succor, you know, for families and for people that that are vulnerable in the society, that the initiative can indeed targeted, and I think it's beautiful.
The ongoing reform by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor Sanwo-Olu says, taking the country to a level where every Nigerian can be comfortable requires hard decision and systematic effort by the government, as well as a lot of patience on the part of the citizens. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you very much, Kikelomo Okere, for that report. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has announced plans to commence work on the construction of second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Following the signing of an agreement on compensation to the Jiwa community on Ruslan, the runway will be constructed. Anthony Oguleye, Director of Press, Office of the FCT Minister, says in the agreement signed between the FCTA, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development and Jiwa community in the FCT on Tuesday, August 29, 2023, a sum of over 800 million would be paid to the community as compensation to pave way for the commencement of work on the project. Ogunleye stated that a contract for the construction of the second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport was awarded in March 2022 by the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. However, work could not commence due to disagreement over issues of resettlement and compensation. Army officers have appeared on national television in Gabon to say that they have taken power. They said they were annulling the results on Saturday's election in which President Ali Bongo was declared the winner. The Electoral Commission said Bongo had won just under 2/3 of the votes in an election the opposition argued was fraudulent. His overthrow would end his family 53 years old on power in Gabon. 12 soldiers appeared on television Wednesday, cancelling the results of the election and dissolving all the institutions of the republic. They also said the country's borders had been closed until further notice. In the meantime, a video from an anonymous source shows Gabon deposed President Ali Bongo Nduma calling on his friends all over the world to make noise while under house arrest following a coup.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon. And I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence and nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you.
The news on Global Television, head of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, on Wednesday wants the Gabonese National Army and security forces to adhere to their republican vocation. This is as he also strongly condemned what he described as an attempted coup in Gabon. The coup leaders said Bongo, 64, whose family has ruled Gabon for over 5 decades, was placed under house arrest and one of his sons arrested for treason. The AU Commission chief also described Wednesday's event as a flagrant violation of the legal and political instrument of the Addis Ababa headquarters African Union. Also, in a related development, France has condemned the toppling of Gabonese President Ali Bongo Ondimba on Wednesday, which could represent another setback for Paris and African where friendly governments have been failing in an epidemic of coup. Government spokesman Olivier Véran told reporters in Paris after military officers announced on television that they overturned the government.
D'abord, la France condamne le coup d'État militaire qui est en cours au Gabon. Et la France surveille avec beaucoup d'attention l'évolution de la situation sur place et réaffirme son souhait que le résultat de l'élection, lorsqu'il sera connu, puisse être respecté. Donc nous surveillons cela avec attention. Pour le reste, je vous renvoie évidemment au Quai d'Orsay et à la ministre Catherine Colonna pour avoir plus d'informations.
France has around 400 soldiers permanently deployed in the country for training and military support, including a base in the capital, and has extensively economic ties to the country in the mining and oil sectors. In a corrected effort to enhance passport processing services to determine numbers of passport applicants in Kaduna State, the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) has unveiled an enhanced e-passport production center in Kaduna State. At the official commissioning ceremony at the Kaduna State Command, the executive governor of the state, Uba Sani, who was represented by his chief of staff, Sani Kila, expressed gratitude to the NIS for establishing the Cotton Edge facility in Kaduna State. Kikelomo Okere tells us more.
The representative of Kaduna State Governor assured the Nigerian Immigration Service of the state government's unwavering support and commitment to collaboration, noting that Nigeria is proudly at the forefront of technological innovation, being the first nation in Africa and 5th global to embrace this remarkable achievement.
The enhanced new passport, which is an upgrade of the former passport, has a lot of security features. Nigeria is privileged to be number 5 in the whole world and the first in Africa to unveil this type of passport. A big plus to the management team of the Nigerian Immigration Service.
In a remark, the Acting Comptroller General of Immigration, Caroline Wuraola Adepoju, reiterated the service commitment to deploy enhanced e-passports encompassing all states within the country and NIS mission abroad, noting that the national identity number remains a mandatory requirement for obtaining the enhanced e-passport, and the information in both documents must be congruent.
Today, I'm here to continue from where this stopped, which is to flag off the enhanced e-passport in Kaduna to add up to the one in Zaria that was commissioned and flagged off, a few months ago.
She further emphasized that the NIS is dedicated to delivering passports within the prescribed time frame of 3 to 6 weeks following biometric capture provided, adding that there are no technical challenges or application discrepancies, such as discrepancies in national identification number of applicants. It is expected that with the rollout of this enhanced travel document, instance of delay in processing passports will be taken care of. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television.
You're watching Global TV, this news cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using @Global TV and G and other handles now showing on your TV screen. We'll be back with more stories for you after the short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The World Bank says it has engaged the federal government on the need to ensure that public funds are spent effectively and efficiently for the good of Nigerians. The World Bank Country Director Shubham Chaudhary disclosed this when he led a World Bank team on a courtesy visit to the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, on Tuesday in Abuja. Chaudhary said the Washington-based bank focus was to work with the government at the federal and state levels to transform the country, catalyzing private investment and job creation, investing in children and creating opportunities for Nigerians' youth and women. Addressing the press shortly after his meeting with the minister, Chaudhary said, quote, "For Nigeria, we have been supporting a wide range of programs ranging from school projects, economic empowerment, and energy for rural areas," unquote. Ambassadors for the Chinese, Indian, Mexican, and Indonesia's government have said that they will continue to deepen investments in the Nigerian economy. The envoy spoke at the International Business Conference and Expo 2023 organized by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, where the team Invest Nigeria. In his remark, the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Jian Chen, said the Chinese government would to deepen its ties with Nigeria through sustainable investment. He noted that many Chinese companies, such as Huawei, have already begun to consider their presence in Nigeria through strategic investment. India's ambassador to Nigeria, Shri Balasubramania, said that in the past 4 decades, India had made investment spending across the pharmaceutical, food, and manufacturing sector to the tune of $9 billion. Japanese motor industry giant Toyota has suspended operations at all of its assembly plants in home countries. Due to a glitch in its production system, the move has brought domestic production at the world's biggest selling car maker to a standstill. The malfunction has meant the firm has not been able to order components. A spokesperson said the firm is trying to find the cause of the problem but does not currently believe it is due to a cyber attack. On Tuesday morning, Toyota suspended operations at 12 of its 14 assembly plants in Japan. Also, at least 183 people have been killed since July in clashes in Ethiopia, Amhara region. The United Nations said Tuesday as it appealed for the killings, violence, and right abuses to end. Tension in the northern region retreated up this year after the end of a devastating war in the neighboring region of Tigray that also drew in fighters from Amhara. We are very concerned by the deteriorating human rights situation in some region of Ethiopia. UN Human Rights Office spokeswoman Mata Hutado told reporters in January and April the federal government announced it was dismantling regional forces across the country. The move triggered protests by Amhara nationalists who said it would weaken their region. Clashes erupted in early July between the National Army and local fighters known as Fano, prompting the authorities in Addis Ababa on August 4th to declare a 6-month state of emergency. The status gives the authority broad and powers to arrest suspects without a court order, impose curfews, and ban public gatherings, Otado said. And that's it on Global TV's news cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using @Global TV and G and other handles now showing on your TV screen. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a good time.